Hey y'all, welcome to Blackspin. So we're gonna make this. I don't know if it's gonna be brief. It may be rather lengthy. I'm not sure how long this video is gonna be. I'm gonna be honest with y'all because I think that we should have an honest look at and talk about Black economic disparities because everybody wants to bring the white man, and the J's and everything like that. But I don't hear no people, none of us taking, because they always want to talk about accountability when it comes to women raising men on their own, and then they don't want to say that, well, it was the guy who left, who abandoned his child. You know what I mean? So it's like, so it's kind of giving me that kind of vibe where we want to talk about economic disparities, but we don't want to talk about who gave away economic power and the reason why economics are so despair. So and I'm going to have an honest discussion about this by using the film that was put out in the early 50s called The Psychology of Selling to the Negro. And I think that this is going to be the perfect example to use to talk about economic disparities because it kind of shows how they put forth certain strategies and those strategies are still there. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Just so you know who Robert Trout is, a lot of people were in comment section saying that they don't think that this guy is a European. So I went ahead and pulled up his, here we go, his face here. So this is definitely a J. So he got a Peabody Award. So he's a newscaster. He's an anchor. So no wonder his voice was so, his voice was great as a narrator. I'm not gonna lie. So this is him. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely a J. Is he a newscaster? Let me see. Oh no, he's an actor, speaks and pioneering broadcast. Oh, U.S. broadcast journalist for several decades in the 1930s. Okay. Okay, so he had a podcast. That's what they say program. It was a radio show back in the day. Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? I remember Portia said that. Okay, whatever. So let's go ahead and get to it. And then I want to also show y'all the director. This is the Wayne A. Langston. I couldn't find much on him, but I've read a little bit about him, and he has an interesting story. So I definitely want to go. I want to go over that until maybe another video when I'm trying to be messy. Hey, Jocelyn. Well, I'm glad you finally made it, girl. So, let's see. I'm just sharing the link real quick while the credits are rolling. Because this is fair use, so I have no problem showing y'all who did what. Because we use this for educational purposes. So, okay, well, it's a lot of credits, isn't it? Okay, here we go. We're about to start now. Let's just click on that thing. I actually want us to go look at these names and look up these people. I want to see how many Black people were involved in this production because I just think that it says a lot about us and where we are because they love to say that, there was always these coons and this sellout. But I contend that from what I've studied, it was the drive, so to speak, for lack of a better term, the drive of wanting to be so close to whiteness or the drive for white proximity that actually created this plethora of the European race that we see now. And it's like they always want to tell us, oh, well, if you in America, if you from such a place, you everybody has white in them anyway. But I think that's actually backwards. I think that every person has indigenous and or Black, for a better term, heritage or genetic structure. I don't think that it's the other way around. I think that every white person has black in them. Because, and y'all know I love to use the example, Grace Jones. Grace Jones has a biracial son. Her biracial son has a white wife, and that wife is, guess what? Is pregnant with a daughter. Well, has had a daughter, and that daughter is a European girl. Red hair, blue eyes, look like straight Caucasoid from the Caucasus of mountains, you know. And when the and I want y'all to take a note that I'm saying this now here on this year of this day, when Kanye's children mate, and they have a Kanye, when the Kardashian kids, everybody but Kourtney, when their children mate with European people, Kanye's grandchildren are gonna all be white. He's just gonna be that embarrassing spot on the calendar or on the history of the family. Just like, and I'm gonna get into the topic. I don't want to derail the conversation. Just like Patrick Mahomes, just like so many others, just like the Jacksons. The Jacksons are a white family now. If you go and look at the Joe Jackson, and I forgot their mother's name, grandchildren, they're all white. They're all white. And I'm not just talking about Paris and Blanket, and you know, we know that he chose a white surrogate who had a white baby. I don't know. That whole Michael Jackson children thing is confusing, but I'm just going by the other Jackson brothers, Randy, Tito, and all of them. All of those kids have, all of the Jackson boys had white spouses or procreated with white women, and all of their children have procreated with white women or have white spouses. So that is a white family. So, anyway, I'm just curious to look up the cast and the creation of this video because I kind of want to see what was going on. So, the reason why I bought, you see a tab here that shows the dates of the civil rights movement, is I want to see it started in 1954. So now, when did this come out? Now, and the reason why this is important is because of the simple fact that in 1954, racial tensions were high, but the capitalist people, and because I don't want to just say color, I want to give them a title. The capitalist people were straight up trying to tell y'all, look, bro, y'all sleeping on this bag. We need their money to make it. You know, just like they needed our land to build houses. We were always a necessity for them. And it just so happens with them having something that appealed to us, which is this, they were able to con us out of everything. And it's like, I hate when I hear men especially say that, oh, this was all ours. We were gods and kings and the pimps of the universe, whatever the hell they want to call themselves. Okay, but you're not now. So stop it. Like when Kyrie Irving said, oh, we're the original Jays. Okay, well, they took that now. Now they're the Jays, and they're doing quite well with the title. They don't want you in it because if you let me come and steal your whole religion, your whole way of thinking from you, you are no longer allowed to participate in it. We took that. We stole it. This is ours. I'm sorry. No, you can't say you're a J because we don't want your weak ass in this group. Like, it is what it is. So that's where I'm at with it. So that's my standpoint when I'm looking at this. And y'all kind of see where I'm going with this economic disparity. I mean, who really caused it? So let's look. And we're going to be honest here. I don't want all that black power, black love, black this, black of the black, and I'm black. Y'all remember CB4? Black of the black. Okay, I quit. But so let's go.
Bob Trout. I've got a story here that I think is big, really big, because it's bound to have a terrific impact on business. I'm talking about a new market, a big new market, millions upon millions of new prospects with $15 billion to spend. That's right, I said 15.
Okay, so it's not a new thing, right? What he's saying, 15, shit, where did he go? Okay, so I can't do that? Okay, fine. $15 billion to spend, right? So we've been having $15 billion to spend. So if that's the case, and I want y'all to go with me now, that means we have been spending with them. You see what I'm saying? That means we've been spending with them. We've been making them rich. We've been buying their cars and buying their land. So see, this, for me, this is part of the explanation why we felt like we were deserving, why we were begging to eat in their restaurants and sleep in their restaurants when it's either us that's making, delivering, or buying their flour. It's like we have some, in some way we're connected to their entrepreneurial success. So with that being said, then we also could have been connected to their entrepreneurial and financial demise. See, but we wasn't. And I'm not going to put it all on the black men. Even though most of the time when black women, and this is documented, I think I'm gonna move my books up here. Or I'm gonna move my books up here, I'm gonna move y'all down there. Because I keep looking for books to show y'all. But anyway, according to, I can't think of the name of the book, but when most time when black women were to sleep outside their race, they were the biracial women that they were just calling them black because, biracials couldn't be white. They couldn't identify as white. They were mostly biracial women and or they were black women that it was done so by force. Now, and when I say force, I don't mean by rape. There's this show called The Porter, and it's on BET. Now, I know this is fiction, but just follow me. If y'all look at The Porter on BT, it's a very good show. But there's a dancing scene where the most talented dancer was this dark-skinned girl. Now, remember, this is a chorus line of light-skinned biracials. Who was their dad and their mom? How did they get there? We already know. So we ain't going to talk about that. But the girl did the best show that was ever seen in that club that night. And all the they were all woo for the mediocre performances of the cream looking girls, right? So the black guy said, where that cream sister at? Now this lady did a wonderful show, but all they was worried about where the light skinned girl at. And this was back in the 30s. So it's like our men have always chased this proximity to whiteness, and it kind of left the women, trying to having to do without them. That's why they always say, black women are strong and black women this and black women that. But just look how long we had to survive without you. Even if you were there mentally, you were gone physically. If you were there physically, you were gone mentally, thinking about what we call now is Becky. So let's go. But we've always had something to do with their success. Always.
$1 billion. That's a lot of money, isn't it?
It's a lot of money.
The surprising thing is that it's a fresh market, still full of opportunities. It grew up so fast, got so...
Now, understand when he says opportunity, he's not talking about opportunity from a vantage point for us. He's talking about opportunity because there's an opportunity for you to exploit this buying power, tap into that dollar, and become rich. Every white person, no matter what culture, every white person across this planet, I mean the Caucasoid Asian, the Caucasoid Spaniard, the Caucasoid Brit, the Caucasoid African, every white culture across this planet is rich because of us. Every Italian fashion house. Look at Balenciaga. Balenciaga, and I read this in Forbes, Balenciaga actually lowered their overhead. You know how they, you know what? That's you use your mind on how they lowered their overhead. They lowered their overhead and was the most profitable that they've been in decades in the last 8 years. Think about it. They shoes like socks now. They don't have to do the zippers. They don't have to do, because all that, most of their pants tie up. Have y'all seen Balenciaga fashions? I don't wear the shit because the shit look cheap to me. I don't give a fuck who names on what. Balenciaga looks cheap to me. Okay, if it looks cheap, it feels cheap, it is cheap. I'm not gonna wear it. I don't care who name is on it. Because me, I do shop for quality. This is something they're gonna talk about on this video. I do shop for quality. So the Balenciaga shoes. No laces, no metal components, no brackets. They literally took a thick pair of stockings, threw some soles on them, and threw their name on the side. Now, I'm going to tell you, Balenciaga used to be very well designed. Look at some. Let me show you something. Let me see if I can find it. I showed you the civil rights dates, and I showed you the importance of that. So watch this. But I don't know how to spell that shit. Balenciaga. A-G-A, motherfucker. There you go. Balenciaga, 1995. Because I used to wear Bally loafers and Balenciaga used to be by Bally's. 1995. I'm talking about, baby, if I tell you Balenciaga was tailor made to the T, I'm talking about structured dresses, high collars. Like, bro, Balenciaga used to be the shit. Now there's just baggy, nasty, trashy. Like, I can't find any old images. If y'all have to look it up on your own, but I'm telling y'all, Balenciaga used to be design loveliness. $8,000 dresses designed to the T. I'm talking about structure after structure. Now, I'm not talking about this funny looking shit right here. I'm talking about real structure, real pencil, pinstripe, like structure. But they don't have to do all that no more because you niggas will buy anything. Listen to what he's saying.
So big in a hurry that few of us realize its scope. Now, these days, nobody's likely to pass up chances to sell. And yet right here in our own front yard, there's a neglected market. There's money waiting to be spent. To get the story of this market, to be able to tell you the secret of selling the Negro, we did a lot of digging. We talked to leading businessmen, the customers, and the salesmen. We went to Washington, D.C. We set up cameras and other key points around the nation. And out of this all, there emerged a story, the story of a new market.
I want y'all to keep in mind 1954 was the beginning of the civil rights movement, the beginning of black people begging to be. Now, this is just the beginning of it politically. They have always begged to be in white spaces. The begging or the asking, it goes back to Reconstruction. If you look in here, when the Republicans, because I've always been a Republican, but anyway, it'll tell you the evils of the Democratic Party and the truth about the Republican Party in this book about Reconstruction. But it also tells you the truth about race relations as well. And while we were the most black people, not just black women, black people during this time were the most educated demographic. Black people. But the problem came is when their biracials offspring, because black men have always gotten their education, gotten their money, and went and found Victoria in them. But their offspring were white and privileged. And why am I gonna go to college when I can live on mama, daddy, and the money? Just think about it. I'm gonna use what's the name of a popular rich family that we would all know? The Rockaberries, the Rothschilds. Let's just say the Rothschilds, right? Say the Rothschilds had a cousin who had Rothschild had a sister who had a black baby daddy, right? That Rothschild biracial is going to live off the Rothschild name and marry a white person. That person, that offspring is gonna all be white, and they're gonna live off the Rothschild name. Why would I have to go to college when I'm gonna inherit part of this metal, oil, paper, wood tycoon family who's involved in all these industries? So I'm not going to go and get educated. So I wouldn't be counted in that group of people who are actually having MD, MDS, Esquire, lawyer, acronym DR, PhD. I'm not going to have to join that academia route. I don't have to do that because I already have a place in there because of my name. So that's how, if you read The Miseducation of the Negro, he explains that as well. And also, if you read Neely Fuller Jr., I can't think of the name of the book, but he mentions this as well. I'm just saying, because I know we all like to read and come to our own opinions. At least on my page, we do. The Greens, not the Greens.
Yes, this is the market we're talking about, the new Negro family. Their name is Wells or Wilson, Smith or Brown or Alexander or Breen. They live in Chicago, in Atlanta or New York, in Detroit.
Chicago, Atlanta, or New York. Listen, look. Listen.
Detroit, St. Louis, Los Angeles, any one of 1,000 cities and towns.
LA.
All over the country, families such as this are enjoying new prosperity. They have new interests, new standards of living, a buying power they've never enjoyed before.
Now, that's the false narrative right there. They have like this new money thing. Black people always had money. They want y'all to think that the Indian was living over here in canoes and Tonto style hunting and stuff like that. Yes, we had our rituals and things of that nature, but we were not behind times when they got there. We were ahead of time when they got there. That's why that white people were so enamored when they came to America. It wasn't because it was a land of plenty. It's because how we were living, and they wanted to be part of that. They wanted to be taught how to irrigate and land and how to farm and how to build and stuff like that. They didn't come over here with that knowledge. And the ones that came over here with that knowledge got that knowledge from the quote unquote Moors, Tariq and them, who was over there begging for white ass as well, which is how they lost their reign to inbred bitch Isabel. I'm sorry, my bad, Isabel, and your fellow queendom history, and Ferdinand. They lost to Isabel and Ferdinand. Look up who Queen Isabella and Ferdinand was. Like, really, y'all lost reign to them? Okay. Chasing that pink vag, I'm telling you.
There are good prospects for practically all types of goods and services. All too
good prospects to all types of goods and services. So this means the milk delivery, the paper delivery, the milk, the paper, the laundry, the material, all of that. All of that. Because at first, remember, in the 1950s, from 1954 to 1968, they was fighting for equality. But what they didn't understand is a political game. They don't understand how Democrats work. They don't understand how politics work. They're ignorant. They're naive to certain things. Even though they're going to school for politics, but you have sellouts like Langston Hughes and the Blue Vein Society, doing some backwater politics, misleading the people. So they're not realizing that their wealth is an economic power force. And if they keep it to themselves, they will be strong. See, they're not thinking that the money is the power. That's why white people gave them the illusion of inclusion. Let's make them feel wanted. They made the black man feel wanted by letting him F his B, and they made the black woman feel wanted by letting her shop in Bloomingdale's. You see what I'm saying? Like, everybody has had the wool put over their eyes. And then there were people, the biracial people, because the biracials are always sent to conquer. You want to know why North Africa is full of white, light-skinned black people? Because they sent their biracials. Napoleon and Mussolini, those were biracials. They let us say the Moors were the race traders. No, those were the biracials from Spain. Those are the Moors that was over there for them 700 years conquering Spain, conquering Europe. Those are their biracials that came back over here with Mussolini and them and showed them where all y'all stay at and came and conquered y'all lands. Y'all better read. Y'all better read. Like, I'm pointing over here like, is the book over here? Y'all better read the Gullah Geechee Wars, and y'all better read the Black Civilization. What's the name of that book? Destruction of Black Civilization. Y'all better read it. Because it'll tell y'all. It's telling y'all what I'm telling y'all. This is about the destruction of black economics. We gave that away, and we always want to blame some poor innocent Jew somewhere. Like, bro, no. Because the Jewish are benefiting off your ignorance because you fell for the catch-22. You'd think you'd have learned after they stole all your land. Come on, man. Stop it.
Too often, though, they're overlooked prospects. Why? Because of some good, valid reason? No. They're overlooked because of mistaken ideas, because of out-of-date ideas about how the Negro lives and how he buys. The truth of the matter is that the Negro lives pretty much the same as other folks. He buys pretty much the same way, too.
And he said pretty much he mean better. Because Europeans in the 1950s, they were struggling. They was homeless. They was they was in New York in soup kitchens. Like, they were poor. That's why there were so many of them in those raggedy old trucks beating, lynching, and killing Negroes. Because they were dirt poor. From the 20s to the 50s, they was dirt poor. The most money, diamonds, clothes, and riches that they ever had was when they raided and looted black business districts, a.k.a. black neighborhoods. That was their come up. That was their come up. That's why black people were so scared to show and build wealth, but black people didn't know anywhere else to dress. Like I've been this fly, I've been this flashy. Like I got to hide my ring because Toby and them in the small black town over the hill gonna come over here and rob us. This is what I'm telling y'all. But at the same time, your man's still going over there cheating with this white woman. This white woman is willing to sleep with the black man, A, because this BBC theory, and 2, because he brought money and bread. Y'all like really, really listen to these white women from back in the day that's telling y'all why he was messing with them. They was really sleeping with them black dudes for money and bread because they men wasn't having nothing. White men were way poorer, were more impoverished than black men. The only people of the non-whites that had, the only non-blacks that had money were the people or the thieves or the tyrants who came over here from other lands, from foreign lands. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Warburgs, and the Chases. Those it's 5 of them. I can't remember the other family. But those 5 families, those were the only ones that really had money. Everybody else was poor. And they were rich because they were constantly keeping their foot on everybody's neck. Not just them, but those white people that came over here on those boats, give us your sick, your tired, your weary, they came over here with nothing and continue to have nothing. They were only supposed to be numerical bodies so that black people wouldn't feel like it was so many of them. And then they would sick those poor, juvenile, syphilis-ridden delinquents on us to try to keep us under a thumb economically. I'm saying all this shit is about money, bro. You follow the money, you can follow history thoroughly. Money tells the best history.
But just the same, a lot of old doubts and opinions keep cropping up over and over again.
I don't like to do business with Negroes. They're drifters. You can't keep track of them.
Yes, although a lot of people think that way, the truth is that 1 out of every 3 Negro families living in cities today owns its own home.
Pause. You heard what they just said? They're drifters. You can't trust them. Who that sound like? Who talk about Negroes like that today? Don't we say that about each other? So when they're convincing their people to do business with us. On the flip side, they was convincing us to no longer do business with each other. You get that? You see what I'm saying? That's some pimp shit right there. Like y'all can say what y'all want to say about the Jays, the Whites, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about any of them. But they had that game by the pound, and we fell for all that strategy. We was playing, matter of fact, we wasn't even playing nothing, no board game. We was playing dominoes, and they was playing chess. We went from owning the most homes to living in the projects. All right.
That figure comes directly from the United States Bureau of Census.
Maybe so, but Negroes are poor credit risks.
Not more of a credit risk than any other group. Actually, the Negro homebuyer meets his payments faithfully, often more faithfully than other race groups in the same economic level. That's the information we got from people who ought to know, the National Association of Real Estate Boards.
Well, maybe, but I've always heard that Negroes buy shoddy, poor-quality merchandise.
No, it's just the other way around. According to leading researchers, in proportion to population and income, Negroes buy more quality products than any other comparable United States group.
Pause. You already said we buy more high-quality products than anybody. It's just like that scenario people always put forward where you see the rich white guy in a polo shirt, some slides, and some dingy Docker shorts, walking on a dock, most likely probably going to his boat, right? And then you see the black guy with money wearing a $1,500 Armani suit, a $500 shirt, $2,000 cufflinks, $900 shoes. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's duplicit almost. This is the rich white man looks poor, and most of the time the poor black men look rich. But either way it go, black people spend their money on high quality stuff, and that's why I'm gonna bring this from 1954 to 2022. That's why all these European brands, they say all that cheap shit. I went to Burberry, and come to find out, the baby don't even have no contract with Burberry. He single-handedly put Burberry back on the map. He did that. The baby did that. I saw the big baby. It's the baby, right? The baby, he ain't got no contract with them. He go in there and shop like everybody else. They just put him in a private room and get a nigga a free drink. He ain't got no stock in that shit. He got to buy that shit with his money. Are you serious? He got to buy that shit with his money. I go in there to get my daughter. So I'm like, oh, Burberry in style. No, I'm going to go get my daughter, because, these kids, I was in style when I was in high school. So I go in to get her a shirt. Baby, the shirt is see-through. See-through for hundreds of dollars. I can go down to Macy's and get a polo shirt, a thick polo shirt. Don't let it be polo sport, honey, because that thing is made to absorb the sweat. I can go get her a polo shirt for $50. $54.99. Are we serious? But the Burberry shirt, you can see straight through that joint. You can see my baby bra. I'm off it's about it. No, I'm good. I'm going to leave this here. It's poor quality, but the name brand says something different. And all that really, really good stuff, I went to, I forgot what store I was in. Same name, Burberry. They had this sheer shirt. Oh, it was gorgeous, honey. It was nice. Buttoned it up. It was real nice. $1,400. But it wasn't in the Burberry store. I said, why is not there? So I go back. I walk my ass back down the hallway to the Burberry store looking for the shirt. Oh, we don't have that here. Because you know why? Because the Burberry storefront got the nigga shit in it. And the department stores got the white people stuff in it. For that they want they people to have on. You see what I'm saying? The high quality stuff with the high quality name is in the department stores for them. They're in the Saks and the Fifth Avenue. And Saks, Fifth Avenue. I said the Saks and the Fifth Avenue. Shut up. The Nordstroms, the Lord and Taylors, whatever the name of the store is that they're in now. The Bloomingdales. But the storefronts got the nigga shit in it for you. But okay. Come on. See, because they picked up. See, the psychology of selling to the Negro is still in effect. But they figured out how to sell you low quality, low valuable things, right? At top dollar. Top dollar. Okay. You gave up your economic power. You're the reason why there's economic disparity. Because every time you get some money, you give it to their ass. Why do you think Trump... I love Republican presidents because they know how to work with their money. Why do you think Trump put so much money out there? Why? So you can give it back to them. Duh. Dummy. Come on.
You see, there are a lot of confused notions about the Negro customer. But when you dig right down and find out about them, they just don't hold water. Negroes own homes. They meet their payments faithfully. They buy good brands of merchandise. So why let a lot of old-fashioned ideas hurt profits?
Exactly. Why let racism hurt profits? Y'all notice every time they show this a black man, they show him with a light-skinned, white adjacent woman. But anyway, why let racist ideas just stop you from getting this money? And understand me, redlining when it comes to buying a house has always been a thing. They would overvalue poor quality houses and you would still buy it. See, when civil rights was happening, they was too busy asking to go into white people restaurants. They wasn't asking for even economic playing field. They wasn't asking for, hey, since I'm indigenous here, because back then, we only 30 years, 40 years into the census abuse. You know what I mean? Black people were still knowing that they were Indians. You know what I'm saying? In the 20s, 30s, and 40s. So with that being said, hey, we don't want to pay taxes. We want free education because you are closer than I am in the 20th century. You're closer in the 19th century to the 18th century. You can prove that your grandmother was full-blooded Chickasaw. You can go to the paperwork. You have more of a pathway to get to those documents than we do now because, on 9/11, when they burnt that building, that secret building now, that's where all the census records was kept. Follow me now. Y'all better pay attention to how they really do shit. So it's like we have always, and I say we, I'm not gonna say the black man, even though the man is the leader, and he was out there marching for biracial babies' rights and biracial marriages and stuff. We was out there with him. You know, that's one thing I say about white men that's different from black men. When black men have a problem, they leave their wives and children out of it. When you see black men with their guns and their militias and they standing tall and they ready about that action, it be a group of men and a group of guns. But since you involved us, here we go. We have the right to speak. So what I'm saying is that they asked for the wrong things in negotiation. They didn't ask for tax breaks. They didn't ask for housing percentiles to go down when it comes to us. They didn't ask for cheaper land. Hey, look, since you stole the land already, the least you can do is let us buy it back at a cheaper rate. You see what I'm saying? They didn't ask for nothing economic. Everything the civil rights was about sociology, socializing, and how they're seen socially. It was a social study. That's why they teach you social studies. It had nothing to do with economics. But then y'all want to complain to 22 about the economic disparity. Well, bitch, stop buying you Louis Vuitton. I got it too. I ain't gonna lie. I got some too. But not in my economic. No. I got a few purses and a couple pair of shoes. I don't need to buy that shit all the time. I don't need a closet full of that stuff. My closet is more full of fashion house than anything. You know, and then when fashion house got expensive, I went online and found somewhere cheap because denim is denim, spandex is spandex. Mixed together, that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no name in my jeans. Shit, I'm going to rip the tag out of it anyway because I don't like tags in my clothes.
Take a look at the real facts. Here in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, some amazing facts and figures about this new market have been uncovered. For a first-hand report, we would like to take you directly to the United States Department of Commerce to hear this story from the Secretary of Commerce himself.
Listen to this.
Here is the Honorable Sinclair Weeks, the Secretary of Commerce of the United States.
Sinclair Weeks.
Department of Commerce.
Wait a damn minute. They said that he's the director. Okay, hold on. Let's look up Sinclair Weeks. They said Sinclair Weeks, right? Because they saying that this is who this is.
For a first-hand report, we would like to take you directly to the United States Department of Commerce to hear this story from the Secretary of Commerce.
Really, Jocelyn, it was about the illusion of inclusion. Because why they make them feel like they was being included in the restaurants and concerts, they were excluding them economically. They were castrating their money. They were castrating them economically. Like, and you know, a man ain't got no money to take care of his wife, ain't no man at all. So really, they caused their own castration economically, which trickled down to his ability to take care of his family, his inability to be a man, and which led to his woman having to go out there to work. Now, when she had to go out there to work, that led her to go march for equal paying wages than to white men, because now I'm out here working too. Now, you ain't just pay me no less. You might fuck with this nigga like that, but I'm the one with this 18 million children. You gonna pay me what you pay the rest of these people. You see what I'm saying? How that domino effect go down? And then they want to say, you strong. What? No. When I was weak and docile and dependent on you, you led me down this social rabbit hole, which led to your economic castration, which led to me having to go do something about it because you got comfortable being poor and broke. I didn't. Yes. They don't say black people are the most literate people. They say black men are the most literate people. So my question is, when are you going to pick up a book and start reading? I don't care if you are a drug dealer or a student. Read something. Teach yourself something. Learn you something. I mean, if you're a drug dealer, you're obviously interested in chemistry. Learn something about the chemicals. Learn what the baking soda doing to the cocaine. Learn what it's doing. You could probably even make a cheaper way to make that stuff. You could probably make a cocaine that's less addictive, but more potent. So that way that motherfucker could still go to work and make some money to afford to buy the drugs because he ain't strung the fuck out. I'm just saying, study, read, acquaint yourself with knowledge. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's like when they said that black people were the dumbest people on earth, black women were like, oh no, shit, no, we not. It's 3 female PhDs in my family. 3. How many men? Unfortunately, most of them are dead. Unfortunately. Most of the men in my family are dead. And I'm talking about natural causes. All right. Now let's go find this lie. Who is this
Here
guy?
is the Honorable Sinclair Weeks.
Sinclair Weeks. Let's go see who Sinclair Weeks is. What the hell? Will Weeks be Weeks? Sinclair Weeks Jr. Okay, Sinclair Weeks. Maybe they just look alike. Nah, forget that. That's that dude that said was a doctor, the director. This not him.
The Secretary of Commerce of the United States.
Maybe they all do look alike. Stop that. Don't say that. I didn't say that. Who said that? You said that, not me.
In the Department of Commerce, we are constantly alert to trends that mean a healthier national economy, better business for the nation as a whole. Recently, we have been interested in a rising young market, one that represents a huge potential for goods and services. I'm referring to the new Negro market. The tremendous buying power of this.
I wonder if they saying new Negro market because they just made it the term Negro and decided to classify the indigenous people of America as Negro. Just a random thought, but let's go.
Group is backed, of course, by an increased earning power. The average Negro family's income is at a record high. In fact, since 1939, it has increased more than the average income of all other Americans. Just take a look at a few figures. An official Department of Commerce report shows that at least 1/3 of the Negroes living in cities earn from $2,000 to $5,000 a year. Today, the average Negro wage earner brings home a paycheck 4 times larger than the one he collected in 1939.
Listen to him. The average black man back then was making $5,000. Now how much the average? Let me see. Let's look it up. Oh shit. Y'all know I can't type. I was trying to do something. Hold on. Black male income 2022. That's not bad. $50,000 a year. 49.5. I wonder how much of that are they giving to Balenciaga now?
As a whole, the Negro market
jobs. That's crazy.
has a total income of about $15 billion every year. And after taxes, Negro families still have many billions of dollars.
Hey, make sure y'all like the video.
Here is a buying power that
y'all go out to chat and hit the like button for me.
Tremendous effect on our national economy and on business prosperity.
And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe.
When these dollars are spent for a wide range of goods, services, and employment, business everywhere is bound to feel the impact.
This new buying power has resulted in a class Negro market, a profitable, above-average income group of consumers. For example, the nation's largest newspaper and magazine research organization, Daniel Starch and staff, reports these significant figures. More than 51% of the readers of Ebony magazine have a record player in their homes. Almost 64% own a television set. And almost 78% enjoy the convenience of an electric refrigerator. It is also a fact and this is from the magazine The Food Field Reporter, that Negroes spend almost $3 billion a year for food alone.
So all of that money was going to black businesses. That's why in the 1920s, black people were able to build and own and create their own theaters, their own music halls, their own clubs, their own cafes, because black people would patron their establishments. That's why black people had these large, extravagant grocery stores and feed stores and things like that to service their community, because they had $1 billion worth of buying power. See, and I don't know how, but I'm studying us, because people study their enemy. We're the only ones that study our enemy. But through studying their enemy, they realize, bro, they spending all this money with each other. That's how they getting rich. We need to get them to spend money with us. How do we do that? They like sleeping with the women. Why don't we start throwing them out of our restaurants and then making them mad enough to fight to be in our restaurants? So that way they can begin to fuel our fire and diminish theirs. Like I said, there's a video I did. And if y'all haven't seen it, I want y'all to go look at it. It's called The Denial of Separate But Equal. When we said to separate but equal, this is where all this come from. This is the baby. And now economic disparity is the grandchild.
Per capita, they buy more cosmetics, drugs, and toiletries than anyone else in the country. And their children are better educated, too, because since 1930, enrollment in Negro colleges is up 2,500.
In Negro colleges is up 2,500%. Now I want y'all to see where he's at, Negro colleges. So now with the civil rights movement, now we want to go to Harvard and Stanford and them. So now Negro colleges are mostly a thing of the past. How many can we really count in HBCUs? Hampton, Georgetown, FAMU, and FAMU not really HBCU. This is a bunch of niggas go there. But original HBCUs, most of them are closed. Most of all of them are closed. You want to know why? Because we took our money to the white education facilities, because white ice is called them black ice, right? You see what I'm saying? White ice is called them black ice. So we went over there and started spending money. So while our schools, our restaurants, our farmhouses, our motels, our hotels, all that shit closed. All those hotels that black jazz singers and Billie Holiday and them was able to go to, because the Waldorf and the W and all them didn't want to let them in. Then all of a sudden they can go in there. They said, fuck them black hotels that accepted us and loved us and treated us right and had good food and good music and clean sheets. Forget them. We're going to go spend our money over here. So they couldn't build a black superpower motel catering to people of all colors because black people took their money over here. We gave away our power. Money, power, respect, what you need in life. I mean, come on. Okay.
100%. But really, to recognize the importance of this class Negro market, we must realize that something has been happening economically in our country. People are on the move. The population is shifting. The makeup of metropolitan populations today is different than it was just a few short...
Metropolitan is inner city, the place surrounding downtown. Guess y'all don't know.
Years ago. To give you a better idea of what we mean, we set up several cameras, candid cameras, in a number of shopping locations. Take a look at these shoppers. Notice what a large proportion of them are Negro. What's the reason? It's simply this. Negro families are moving into the cities where there are more job opportunities. Here they find occupations with more prestige and security, jobs that pay more money. As a result, Negro families today often make up the largest part of central city consumer prospects. A shoe store in Chicago's Loop, for example, reports that more than 50% of its customers are Negroes. In another case, a drugstore located at a transfer point in a non-Negro neighborhood finds that its Negro customers total 25%. The trend is plain. The new Negro families today are moving into more populated areas.
Watch
to the
this.
cities, where there are more stores, more buying
Watch this map.
opportunities. Since 1940, in San Francisco alone, the Negro market has increased by 89%.
Now, they're saying the Negro market, not the Negro population. The Negro population has always been there. This is more, this percentage to me, and this is how I'm interpreting this data presented, is that they're saying that this is how many more blacks are now spending with white folks. In Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, 50% of them are spending most of their money in Woolworths than the general store. You see what I'm saying? In Houston, which is in the largest state, in Houston, 45% of the black people are more so spending their money in Luby's as opposed to Granny Diane's diner. You see what I'm saying? In Chicago, which is mostly black, especially in those days, it was called Chicago when it first started, made by a black guy. But anyway, 81%, almost 100% of the black people in Chicago are now getting their pizza from Italians. Remember in Chicago, there was a large rush of Italians that came through there. Italian is white. They just speak Spanish now. They're not spending their money with Italians, buying Italian tailor suits and Italian pizzas and stuff, pizza pie, than they are eating the greens and the cornbread at the local diner, the chicken fried chicken. You see what I'm saying? I hope my analogies are making sense. My analogies making sense to y'all. Y'all get what I'm saying? In San Francisco, 89% in California. So instead of them, what do they like to do in California? I don't know. I've only visited. I've never lived there. But you see what I'm saying? 89% of the black population is now spending white. This is what they mean by the growing economic power. Look at all these black people who are now spending with y'all. And y'all can't afford to hate them, bro. Koreans, they'll tell you Koreans don't like black people. Koreans don't like black people. But we'll steady going to a Korean nail shop. And they'll tell you, I'm Korean. I know Chinese. I know Japanese. I'm Korean. They're either Korean or Chinese. Neither one of them care for black people socially. Understand that. But black nail techs have to beg for your business. They have to be cheap to get your business. And even though y'all go to these nail shops, they're like, they rushed on my nails. They ain't do my nails right. I ain't going to them no more. You'll take your ass right back there that next week instead of giving the young black girl a chance to do your nails. Then y'all wonder why most black nail techs do nails at the house. Wow. But my daughter got out of high school. I'm going to try to get her and Ash a nail shop because they need to be in the shop. But anyway, let's go.
In Chicago by 81%. Houston, Texas, 45%. Philadelphia, 50%. The impact of this new buying force is so tremendous that actually in 14 major United States markets, a product cannot be number one without Negro support.
You heard that? A product cannot be number one without Negro support. So if this was true in the racist ass 50s, then you know it is true today. Without Negro support, that Euro Dominican rapper Balenciaga Belcalis, she could not be popular without black support. Tom Hanks' son could not be a man speaking with the Jamaican accent man without black. Somebody black had to teach him patois. You see what I'm saying? Somebody black had to buy his albums. You see what I'm saying? Tom Hanks got a black grandchild. Somebody black had to open their legs. So, and that's just socially. Balenciaga, Burberry, all the with the sake of, and I'm gonna only say with the sake of Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and it was first to come up off black people back in the day, in the 90s with Master P and them. Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and maybe Christian Dior. Those are the oldest fashion houses I can think of. They didn't need black support to survive because those European fashion houses were made in the European capitals of design. You see what I'm saying? So they didn't come here and they don't need, like, you don't see niggas with Louis Vuitton all in the video. You know, Louis Vuitton don't want that kind of press. The kind of press they want is these weird black and white people dressed up in scarves and dresses and deep black. Y'all know they like couture photo shoots. They're more of a couture brands. You know what I'm saying? Their quality is their quality. They don't depend on the black dollar, even though they benefit off of it, and they know they do. You see what I'm saying? You don't see a bunch of niggas running around with Dior on. You know, you see them doing it now, but Dior trying to hush that shit up. I'm telling y'all. Tommy Hilfiger was trying to stop y'all from all that Hilfiger stuff. Now, he didn't say I didn't make my shit for black people. He just didn't want all this ghetto-fied shit behind his brand, because then niggas cheapen shit. Let's be real. And the only reason why Burberry don't care about niggas cheaping it, because Burberry was going out of business. Quiet as kept. Their sales was way down before the baby and these other rappers started rocking it and wearing it, and now niggas want to buy it all the time. We are the economic power force that keep this world going. And we'll spend 1 year. If every black person out there will take 1 year and only shop black, you will see what economic power look like. If every black person in America, fucking 6 months, did 6 months without buying nothing from nobody white, nothing. They probably would barely make it, but I tell you what, somebody will start a grocery store in their house. You already got these coupon people. I don't really have to go to Family Dollar stuff no more. I go to a coupon house and buy my stuff. You see what I'm saying? So, y'all cause your own economic disparity. Lack of discipline, lack of loyalty, and lack of political know-how is why there's an economic disparity. It's not because the white man took anything from you.
A product must have the backing of this big new buying power to be a leader.
And before I finish playing it, look at how many things black people invented. From the ice cream scoop to the phone to the camera to the traffic light. But we didn't go out there to buy our stuff from the black person. That's why a lot of black inventors sold their patents, because they knew black folk wasn't going to buy it from them. If Louis Latimer had invented that carbon thing that make the light bulb a light bulb, right? And he hadn't got with that white man, y'all wouldn't be buying light bulbs. Y'all still be using candles. I ain't finna buy no light bulb for no nigga. Come on. Look how many black-owned candle companies it is out there. There isn't a major black corporation out there that makes soap. And then black people don't want to do business with each other. I didn't hit up all kinds of other. I have candles, right? I hit up people that make perfume candles to try to get a corporation going to where we can begin to rival Johnson & Johnson and Glade and them. But black people, black business owners, they get rich off the black dollar and then they go and buy Louis Vuitton and them. Isaac Moore, for example, I see him in the Galleria buying all kinds of Louis and red bottoms and shit. Nigga, raise your own brand. Like, you getting the black dollar just to go, because he gonna tell y'all why y'all doing it. Let me let him finish talking.
Leader in the field.
Oh, and this video isn't an hour and 24 minutes. There's another video at the end of this one.
What do you have to sell? Chewing gum or cars? Toothpaste or transportation? Whatever it is, here are millions of prospects. And these prospects are everywhere. Negro customers can no longer be pigeonholed. They cannot be classified as prospects who trade only in certain stores.
Who trade only in certain stores. In other words, y'all can't afford not to sell to these niggas. It's too many of them. They having too much money. And if you don't start selling to them, you ain't going to have nothing. All right?
Neighborhoods. Today, Negroes shop downtown. They shop in supermarkets. They shop in small neighborhood stores. They'll buy from anyone who wants to sell to them. But we all know that before you can sell to customers,
they'll buy from anyone who wants to sell to them. Meaning, they'll buy from any cracker who got some product to offer them. Because you know they ain't buying from niggas. Because they look down on nigga businesses, even back then. White ice been cold before the 50s. That's how come they saw a big gap in the market that they could take advantage of. Because y'all steady putting them out y'all restaurants, putting them out y'all stores, not wanting to sell to them. Bro, they begging for you to take their money, man, to the point where they had to put out a documentary telling these white folk, get their money, you tripping. This is sad.
Customers, you've got to get to know them. You must understand something about them. What do the Negro customers buy? Why do they buy? How do you sell to them? Let's find out. Let's hear the opinion of men who have spent a lifetime studying the buying habits of customers the world over. Here is what sales psychologists have to say about selling to the Negro.
Listen to this.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is...
He needs to feel important and appreciated. And that's a feeling that he does not get in his own community. Not that he is not giving the attention he needs, not that he's not giving the verbal affirmation that he needs from his woman or his male counterparts. It's that they want white validation. They want the white man to serve him and say, thank you, sir, you're welcome, sir, because for them it's about slavery, and now we got the white man calling us sir. Yeah, he's serving you right out of your money. So it's like for them, it's an ego thing. Well, I want this white boy to serve me. I want this white woman to make my pie. I want this white woman to do this for me. I'm finna sit at this counter. These white folks fit to serve me. Like it's the mentality. It's like he said in life. How much money it's gonna take to turn one of them white pies into nigger pies? No one he called himself a nigger. Number two, Shawty said she don't want to sell you her motherfucking pie. She must have seen this documentary yet, because she just sold 20 pies about it today. If she had to sold to that nigga, to these niggas in town. But you see what I'm saying? So they want white validation. But see, he can't say that on here. But he's speaking in code to white folk. Listen.
It's a very real and important one. It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits.
Another dark-skinned man, light-skinned
Three
wife.
habits in particular play a big part in every sales transaction. To begin with, most Negroes buy by brand. They ask for products by name. They're quick to turn down off-brands. Do you wonder why? Well, listen to what this customer is thinking.
That last hat I bought just didn't hold up at all.
You see, for a long time, the Negro has been sold a lot of shoddy, second-class merchandise. So now he asks for name brands in order to make sure he gets his money's worth. Buying by brand, that's the first important Negro buying habit. Now for the second. The Negro buys good quality merchandise. Symbols of quality and prestige are very important to the Negro customer. This woman...
That's why y'all grandmas had that expensive crystal punch bowl. Y'all know the punch bowl with the crystal glasses around it and the crystal ladle. So you heard what he said, right? They want that validation because they often had poured down him. And now, pause right there and put a pin in that thought. I think this is conjecture on my part, but just in research, this is just in the data I've read throughout the time, I've been able to come to this conclusion, is that they felt like the fedora that they were getting from their mom and pop, we're going to call them mom and pop for lack of a better word, but from the black tailor in the black neighborhood, they felt like it was a higher quality. But what they didn't know was a lot of these white folks was going to these black tailors, buying their stuff wholesale, then putting it in their shops and selling it at double the price. See, black people were the first people to have this private label shit going on. Same thing for black seamstresses and black designers. Yeah, look at that. If you look at, it's a movie about Chanel, right? And look up some of the names, because I like to Google names. I just be randomly doing it while watching the movie. A lot of those designers were black women, black and or biracial, white passing. or not really passing, but biracial. They knew they was biracial. They just couldn't call them what they were.
For example, is buying fine crystalware. But she is also buying the admiration and approval of her friends and relatives. Listen to her thoughts.
My, isn't it beautiful? I can hardly wait to show it to Sally and Joan.
It's a well-known fact that many Negro customers are influenced by the opinions of others.
Instagram? The Instagram got y'all out there going, spending all y'all money. All that PPP money that came through, instead of spending it on your household and surviving and pinching off of it over the time, or starting a company with it, y'all went shopping with it. To the point to where it was long lines at the Gucci and Louis Vuitton store, just long lines. Like out of sight long lines. Okay.
What their friends may think of a certain item often decides whether or not the sale is made. So remember, the Negro buys quality merchandise. That's the second important point.
And I think when he said that, he was saying, AKA, raise your prices when they come in. See, this is how it came. I was watching this movie one time. And in the movie, I wish, if I could find the movie, I'll try to add the clip. Y'all know I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to tell y'all about it. Y'all can go find it. But this black man was walking in the store, right? And was it Brother Arthur? I don't think so. But it was a black man and a white man in the store. The black man walked in there first, and he was looking at something. The white man was like, yeah, he took the price tag off of it. It was 5 cents, whatever it was. And he was like, this is the top quality, blah, blah, blah. Sold it to the man for 15 cents. Then a white man coming in, he got it for 5 cents. See what I'm saying? They know that you're about high quality stuff. So all they got to do is just, who's to say it's high quality or not? Glass is glass. Crystal is crystal. Right? They tell you it's high quality. They tell you you'll be all the rage. All your friends will be jealous of you. It's just simply smashing and sell it to you at a 15%, 30% markup. But when Sally and Joan come in there and get it, they're going to get it for the $10. You going to buy it for $30.
And here's the third thing to remember when selling to a Negro customer. When he specifically asks for one thing, don't try to sell him something else.
Make sure you hit the
Don't
like
try
button.
to switch him at the point of sale. If you do, he'll probably react something like this.
Doesn't he think I've got the money to pay for it?
There's a reason for this reaction. Again, because he's had experience with cheap merchandise.
How many times have y'all even now, some people are walking in places, bitch, I can buy you and sell you, bitch. I can afford this shit. We still have that mentality. So we cannot say that this psychological analysis of us when it comes to economics is a lie. It's like you beg to be in the white man's face so you can prove you can afford the same shit he got. But he ain't even buying that shit. I'm going to tell you what. Go sit, because I did it. Go sit in Burberry and see how many white folk come in there versus how many black folk come in there. Like, I want y'all to go sit in these stores and see how many white folks is actually here buying this shit. They're not buying it like that. They buying like, they're not wearing the regular perfumes you wearing. They're not buying none of that shit that you got. They not. They're in Saks. And the name brands they buying, they don't have no initials, no names written on them. It's a nice, classy leather belt that they paying $8,000 for. I'm telling y'all, just watch. And they're not in the department. They're not in the storefronts. They're in the department stores.
The Negro resents being offered a substitute. He wants to be sold on quality, not price. The Negro buys by brand, he buys quality, and he doesn't like to be switched at point of sale. These are the keys to selling the Negro customer. Another point. The Negro family does things together, as a group. The family works as a unit. It lives as a unit, and it buys as a unit. When you sell to one member, You many times sell to all. It's also true that many places
You
of
heard
entertainment...
that? When you sell to one, you sell to all. So this is why when Mass P was wearing Versace, we all start buying Versace. When the baby start wearing Burberry, we all start buying Burberry. You see what I'm saying? We follow. We're followers. That's basically what it said, man. Look, niggas is followers. If you get one nigga in the neighborhood to buy this expensive ass Callaway golf club, the whole neighborhood gonna come buy some Callaway golf clubs. Cause they don't want that nigga to have something he don't got. The Joneses like to keep up with the Joneses. I'm telling you, listen, they got y'all pegged, economically down packed. They know what y'all gonna do. They know your every move. The only way to beat them is to move different.
are still closed to the Negro. So he spends more of his money for the thing.
Listen, a lot of stuff is still closed to the Negro. I want to rewind that a little bit. This nigga buying golf clubs knowing ain't nowhere for niggas to golf in the 50s. Anyway, which is their point of showing golfing at this time.
All. It's also true that many places of entertainment are still closed to the Negro.
Mm-hmm.
So he spends more of his money for the things that are available to him, often for items that are considered luxuries. Another trait of the Negro market is the fact that it is a pre-sold market.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the Negro buys by brand, and he buys the brands that he knows something about.
So, when they say pre-sold, is what I was telling earlier in the video when I gave that comparison between the Burberry store and the Burberry shirt in the department store and the Burberry shirt in the storefront is simply because that shirt was see-through. It felt like, y'all been in Burberry, y'all felt that cheap ass collar shirt with the Burberry collar. It felt like that cheap polyester that they have as Phallus Paralis. You know, you could see through the shit. Man, I bet the Phallus Paralis uniform shirts feel better. You know, it was very cheap. It was giving very much so cheap Catholic school uniform vibes. Like, I didn't want to wear it because it didn't feel good. It didn't feel like a high quality because they niggas like high quality, right? But since y'all buy brands and they've had time to plot on y'all, that's what I mean by it's pre-sold. They know they're going to sell this shit to a bunch of niggas. They know the niggas going to go buy this collar shirt and stuff like that. More so, the white dinner party housewife is the one that's going to be in the department store looking for that $500-600 Burberry structured dress with the little pencil belt on it. You know, because black women don't typically dress like that. They think we all dress like whores. So they are selling us the business casual Kentucky Derby type of summer dress. Real like bodycon, bondage type dresses, right? So they have, for the same price as that cheap ass shirt, you can go to the department store and get a badass Burberry dress. For the same price. Thick, luxury, it feels good. Like, I like it when it's thick, sturdy, nice material. You know what I mean? We buy quality. As does everyone else, right? Right? Now, if it's cheap, it don't have to feel like I'm expecting it to feel. I'm expecting it to feel cheap, but I'm not expecting something expensive to feel cheap. That's what they mean by it's pre-sold. It's predetermined who the targeted demographic is. Okay, so this is the shit we're gonna sell to the niggas. You don't think they have salespeople studying what y'all buying, what y'all not gonna buy, what they invest in buying? Come on, man. It's the reason why a Burberry dress is a higher quality than a Burberry shirt. Because y'all most likely to buy the shirt and the white people most likely to buy the dress or the suit or the button-up. Okay.
Where does the Negro buyer get this information? We know that Negro customers are turning more and more to the publications that are tailored.
Now, you see this? Ebony. This is why I had the owner of Ebony up here. Now, he passed away. I believe he was married to the same light-skinned black woman from the 40s till he passed away. God rest this man's soul. He did the damn thing. But in those black publications, white people often advertised in them. Black people could not afford. It's a known fact that black people could not afford to advertise in Jet or Ebony. It's also a known fact that Jet or Ebony refused to put Grace Jones on the cover of their magazines because she slept with white men in Paris. But Grace was like, I sleep with the white man because the black men do not want me. You know what I'm saying? Because she had that European accent because she was in France for so long. But like Even to this day, black men right now will call Grace Jones ugly as fuck, despite her being a world-class supermodel. She ugly. But white men love her. So, but this black man wouldn't put her on the cover of his magazine until her popularity was undeniable. And he needed her face to sell magazines. See what I'm saying? So, like, we look at these black people that was doing such good things back in the day, but they were doing it for themselves. They weren't saying, hey, black people, you can advertise for little or nothing because we know your business not making nothing because white ice cold to black ice, we spending all our money with white folk. He's a businessman. He understands where economics is going. He didn't try to give his people a leg up. As long as he kept his head up, he didn't give a fuck, which is what I got from it. Why did he stop talking? Oh, I paused it. Duh. So,
specifically to their needs, that give them the news and the information that they want to read about.
This is why I say you can't trust black media. It feel like it's white ran.
Leading businessmen and companies already know this. That's why so many of them are taking this direct, sure route of reaching the Negro customer. The vice president of advertising of the Cohen Watch Company, for example, says this.
In many important cities throughout the United States, Negroes are important customers of the credit jeweler. Therefore, it seemed that Ebony magazine would be a very important advertising medium for us. We would say it was very well received, and from our viewpoint, a very successful campaign.
From the Remington Rand Company comes this statement.
Our records show that advertising in Ebony has been effective in many ways. As all good advertising should, it has built a terrific amount of goodwill and has brought a volume of sales and sales inquiries.
A representative of the Alaga Syrup Company makes this statement.
Because of Alaga's regard for the influence of Ebony in the Negro market, advertising space was doubled. Alaga's long experience in selling to Negroes now takes the most direct route to its best customers, reaching Ebony's 2.5 million audience in every issue.
And here are the statements of still other business leaders.
Yep.
All those white businesses say we advertise in Ebony because we try to get them 2 million people to buy our stuff. Just think about it. If 2 million people see you in Ebony, 1 million of them people buy your product that you sell for $5. That's $5 million in your pocket for a $20 article in this nigga magazine. Now, if he had only published and advertised for his own people, that would have been millions of dollars in their pocket. I'm saying that there is no race loyalty when it comes to money. You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't give a fuck when it come to money. I'm just gonna be real. And it's not that white people not buying y'all shit. Because white people money is loyal to white folk. You know what I'm saying? They would be hard pressed to go out and have to look hard to find something that white people putting out there. But when y'all find out it's a black candle company, y'all don't go on lovelivnature.com and order y'all candles from this black owned candle company. Y'all don't do that. Y'all go straight to Glade. And Glade, they pour less wax in their candles, they burn faster, and their scent throw is terrible. This candle burns for 36 hours. The oil is massageable, it's organic, and you can put it in your bathroom for a couple hours, open your bathroom door, and the scent will be out of your house. You forgot the candle lit, like, damn, it smells good. Where that smell come from? Oh, that's right, that's that candle in the bathroom. But no, instead of going to www.livelovenature.com, y'all going to grab y'all $6, $7 Glade candle, and y'all good with it. Because it's inconvenient to do business with black people. But if you don't put your money into these black businesses where they can grow enough to be on a shelf in the store, you see what I'm saying? Because these corporations are going to be like, we're not going to put in an order for your candles if we can't sell your candles. Show us where you already selling these candles, then we'll put you in the store. This is what you got to do to get in the store. But we don't have that. We don't have that support. Because y'all money not loyal. Black money is the most disloyal money out there. That's why everybody making a grab for it. Everybody get rich off of black dollars except black people. Ain't that some shit? And they didn't brainwash y'all. Y'all been like this. They're telling you this is the psychology of selling to a Negro. This is how y'all already been. They didn't say, hey, this is how you make a nigga buy shit from you. No, this is their psychology. So this is how you come at them when you selling something. They already down to buy. They begging to buy the shit from you. This is how you close the deal. Don't switch up. Don't offer them nothing cheap. And make sure they feel like this is a way to acceptance. And they gonna buy it. 3 cardinal rules.
Yes, many business leaders are discovering the most direct and most efficient way of reaching the new Negro market. Look here at the results of the same advertisement in 2 different publications, Ebony and another general magazine. You can see that proportionately, more men and women read the ad in Ebony than the one in the other magazine. And they did a better job of remembering it, too. A greater percentage of readers noted, associated, and remembered the ad in Ebony. But now, wait a minute. If the Negro market is so big and easy to reach, why aren't more companies going out after it? Well, often because of the feeling that there's something entirely different, unusual about selling to the Negro. But is it really so different? What do salesmen say? The successful salesmen who do a good job of selling in Negro communities. How do you go about getting the order?
How do I get the order? Well, to tell you the truth, I don't do anything. Anything different, that is. I've been calling on these accounts long enough to know that the Negro just wants to be treated like everybody else. No matter who you're calling on, a little friendliness and courtesy help a lot. But naturally, anybody resents being patronized or talked down to. So I usually call a man Mr. Brown, Mr. Smith, or Mr. whatever his name is, until he tells me to call him by his first name. And of course, I always stick to business. I stay away from talk about race or religion or politics. That goes.
Because I low-key don't like him, don't respect him. I'm just going to wash my hands thoroughly after I shake this nigga hand. But he buying 20 boxes of oats from me, and that make me the top salesman in my district, which is how I feed my kids and my children. Just like Harlem Nights. They was in their fine threads. Everything was tailored to fit. And he was living in a fucking hovel. Come on, man. All right. How do we go from the rich people to the poor people? By giving them our money and making them rich. And when you give them your money, you don't have nothing left to share with your people. You made your people poor. Now you're part of the poor. Same way with Kobe Bryant, all the other black millionaires. What's that black guy? I'm gonna find him. He's one of the richest. Hagler. Anyway, he's a rich guy who owns a company in tech or something. His whole staff is European. I'm gonna pull him up after this.
For talk about Negro celebrities, too. You know, this business about what good prize fighters and singers the Negroes are. Who cares? When a guy's in business, no matter what color his skin is, he's interested in making a living, in making money. That's uppermost in his mind. I guess maybe what I'm saying is that I try to help any way I can, sometimes with displays or ad materials, or an idea once in a while. The important thing is...
See, now this man is selling product to the black store, right? Now, when the black store gets dependent on buying his product from white companies, all the white companies got to do is stop selling him stuff, because now he's dependent on the white salesman. Stop selling him stuff. The next thing you know, they get his store at a bankruptcy low price, and he's out of business. He's now in business with all the white connects. All right. Y'all look up, it's a book called The Evils of Banking, The Banking Evil, the Evil Truth About Banking. It's something like that.
Is that if it helps push sales for the dealer, it helps push them for me, too.
Handle the Negro account just like any of your others. Don't patronize. Stick to business. Get interested in the account. Pitch in and help any way you can. Sounds like pretty good sales advice. That's the secret of selling the Negro. Well, how about it? What do you think of this new market? It can open new outlets for you and for everybody who sells goods or services. It's still possible to get in on the ground floor when this market is just beginning to grow and to expand. The facts and the figures that we see here are just a small sample of what they promise to be next year and the years after that. Yes, here are men and women with money to spend, and they spend it for exactly the same things as you and I and everyone else. They buy almost every type of product and service that you have to offer, and they can be reached like everyone else through publications that appeal to their interests and desires, that deliver the kind of loyal readership that can be proved both in surveys and in down-to-earth sales. Here is a ready-made market waiting to be asked to buy. Here are millions of customers for what you have to sell. Customers with $15 billion to spend.
See? Just that simple. And we have that same psychology today. So so we didn't cause this economic disparity? We had to, that was my bad opinion, y'all. I feel like I'm a little braid. Didn't we? Y'all like my fishtail braid? It come from the back and go like this way. I like it. Anyway, I feel like we did. Because black people have to beg for black business. They have to have YouTube pages and Instagram pages and black. I don't want to be a black-owned candle company. I just want to be a candle company that people like. Sometimes you can't tell black people that it's a black-owned. Maybe you'll sell more to black people. Because they automatically think that if it's black, it's poor quality. Look at all these black t-shirt companies. All these black designers. It's everybody that's trying to sell their black clothes. They can't get nowhere. They can't even start making better designs. The black female designer, y'all don't even want to holler at her during prom season. Y'all don't get her to make y'all slacks and y'all business clothes that y'all wear to work. So where they can get them a storefront. I'm just saying. You know, and then all the black people I know they're in black business making a lot of money. They don't spend their money with black people. They do not. They drip themselves in red bottoms, Versace's, Louis Vuitton, all of that. You know. And I think that if we're going to be honest, now a certain demographic or a certain portion of rich people, they're going to want to buy rich people's shit. But it's like black designers or black products will never be rich people's shit if more people don't buy them so that they can then begin to mass produce and manufacture. You see what I'm saying? Like Isaac Moore. He give away more than he sell. Trying to get his brand out there. But when you see him, he draped in Versace and stuff too. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not really giving that you wear your own shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at Donatella Versace, whatever her name is, that long blonde, big nose girl, that's all she wear. She don't wear nothing but. You got her fucked up. Everything she wear, they make. I've never seen her in no spread, no magazine, caught off guard photo anywhere, wearing anything but what she make. I bought these Nagash shoes one time, and I happened to follow somebody that's a designer, and he don't even wear Nagash shoes. I said, what's this some shit? Black people want to be rich so they can buy white people's shit too. So again, you participate in the economic disparity, but as a black business, you need black people because we're the highest paid demographic, or we have the most money we spend frivolously, and you want us to buy stuff from you so you can go buy stuff from the white man. You don't keep I'm trying to keep my money black by putting it in the black community, and as soon as I buy something from you, you put it out of the black community. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? And it's like a lot of black men, they do give back to the community, do turkey drives and bike giveaways, stuff like that for Christmas. But I'm like, bro, why don't you just keep your money black for a year? Take 6 months and fast off buying shit from white folk. Where a black lady opened a gas station in Houston. She didn't last a year. Y'all didn't go out your way to get gas from this lady. That's crazy. She didn't last a year. It went from a gas station to a corner store, from a corner store to close. Because y'all wasn't going up in there. I drove all the way to the south side every day to get gas from this. Every week to get gas from this lady. And it's like, I don't know. It's like the psychologist Selling to the Negro, man. Y'all still living in the 50s. Y'all are still there with it. And y'all ever came back out of it. So come back with me. I'm gonna talk again about this black woman hate biracials rhetoric that y'all still talking about. Like, y'all got to stop that shit. Nobody don't like you because you're biracial. You're probably just a bitch. This is Blackspan, and I'm out.